So essentially, Lime blew up the device to an exceeding. She used was it alien technology to copy alien technology and make it bigger.
Yep.
So
Apparently, they have an alien Kinkos.
essentially, it's a three-dimensional material thing, but yeah, it's, it's interesting. The other part about we're not ready for this energy overnight. It's like yes, and the other part about this is if this technology ever gets out, anytime you have a way of creating a lot of energy very quickly, it has the potential for weaponry. So you could set one of these things to overload, and if you manage to make a small one of these again, you could set it to overload and blow up quite a bit of territory.
You know, just because humans didn't have that, apparently the Autons, I mean the Nestine did, because they mentioned in the first story, ambient energy within the first story.
Oh, the Kamishi and the Autons working together. Go, my Tengobushi!
Or the Autons stole the
Hey. We can hear it. I don't want to
no,
get this flagged.
that was an advert that
Yeah,
popped up on the phone. Okay, I
Yes,
muted
it
it.
wasn't me this time.
No, it wasn't you this time.
this time.
This time it was.
Anyway, well, yeah. Which, I mean, I guess the Kamishi would go, okay, well, you also run under a hierarchy and use disposable goons that are relatively tough. It's like, but we are far more creative than you are. It's like, Autons aren't exactly the most creative things in the world.
No,
The Nestine consciousness, sure, that can get creative. Autons themselves, not so much.
the Autons are just the lackeys anyway.
Yeah, well, they're not much more than robots.
Pretty much.
Well, the
But
foot soldiers are.
I had found that kind of interesting. The fact that they'd used a similar concept.
Yeah. It is. But
Just waking up.
oh no, just stretching. Muscles a little stiff.
Me too.
I was gonna say. So yeah, if you are at all competent with, I mean, given it's Osgood, it really doesn't matter much. But if you're smart, uh, when you deal with Osgood, you completely search her. You send a
Yeah,
female guard in, go just straight search her. Anything. I don't care if it's a pen. Okay? She has nothing that could be used, any technology whatsoever, and I'm going to put her in a brick cell with iron bars and no technology.
pretty. She is basically
God.
a tech. She is basically a technophilic version of MacGyver.
Yes. You give her nothing.
I shouldn't say that.
You give her
Huh?
nothing but the clothes on her back. It is
Not even
otherwise.
those.
And then
And then she hides something in that too. She'd sew something into it. It's like, you know, you have scanners. figure out where the technology is and cut that out.
Although, to be fair, they're not too bright, these guards. I mean, they didn't even search Sam, which is why
Yeah.
going invisible.
Oh, it was the well, the guards. There were two sets of guards, though. There were unit guards, and technically they were just putting her in some place to keep her out of the way. But they were at some sort of unit panic facility, and then the Sam thing was up at Ice Station Alpha. But yes, guards other than guards other than the people on the interior unit are all pretty incompetent. It's like, yes, I'm going to let this, person I know is a freaking tech MacGyver. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to let them anywhere near anything. If I have to put them in a broom closet, clear out the broom closet.
Did.
Well, I mean, like an actual, like, little broom closet with no electricity inside. There's nothing electronic they can access. They don't have a phone or any technology. Search them, make sure they have no technology whatsoever. Put them in a room with no technology. Take everything out of there, and then just put them in there, and no. Or, another way of doing it, knock them out. It's like, yes, we're going to anesthetize you because we don't want you doing things. And the only way to ensure that you're not going to do anything is to put you to sleep.
Yeah.
Put you under for a while. Wake you up when we're ready to move forward. But not before. Because as long as you're awake, you're dangerous. Until that point, no.
In this damn house.
But
yeah, she is one of those you don't want to underestimate.
yes. It was an interesting way to for Carter to come back. It's like, no, I didn't die. You thought I did.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
I also, again, I love his sass. Because he's like, how did you do that? Really, really, Josh? It's like you don't know who you're here with. And Josh, are you sure you can fly this? Really, Osgood. It's like you don't know who you're dealing with.
Yeah. But it's...
Wakey, wakey.
Yeah. But and Cerberus, you just destroyed a very valuable Peregrine, the Peregrine sort of prototype. It's like, really? That you destroyed government property. They stole government property, but you destroyed it.
Yep.
It's like, yes, they may have appropriated it, but they landed it safely, and it was all in one piece before you started shooting.
And technically, it was their property anyways, because she is still the head of unit.
Yeah. They never really formally did anything to strip her of any power, but so
Exactly.
Technically it was all still there. I guess the only thing that she technically did, that would be wrong, is they knocked out the rest of the. They they abused the intruder sort of
Protocol.
They abused the intruder protocol. But other than that, if it was under unit jurisdiction and it was under her unit jurisdiction, she could have done whatever she wanted with it. And
Exactly.
so The only thing, yeah, the only thing that they would get in trouble with if they weren't, saving the world and going, you know what? On this hand, you knocked out all the guards at this unit base, abusing the intruder protocols,
But
but you
they've made
also saved the
Yeah.
world. So, you know what? Not that you didn't kill anybody. Everybody was fine afterwards. They might have been a bit groggy, but they all had a nice nap. The worst thing is you gave the guards a nice nap.
Mhm.
So I guess I can't be too mad. At least you didn't kill them.
Yeah.
Though the Cerberus people might not have fared so well. But that wasn't your fault. That was the Kamishi. And
True.
the Tengobushi.
And it was their own fault.
Yeah, they were stupid.
Seriously.
That's why the Cerberus could get a hold of
Everything
them. Was
blows
that
up
the unit,
eventually.
no military wanted them.
And as Sam pointed out, they're pretty incompetent.
Yes.
It doesn't take much to be one of you guys, does it?
Well, and again with was it Sam? Was the one with the invisibility thing? It's like, yeah, you've got a super secret organization that you know very little about, except for that they constantly deal with alien technology and appropriate it for their own use when it allows.
It's obvious.
And you're not going to search these people before you try and lock them up. You're not going to have guns trained on them. It's like, it's one of those things you're dealing with. It's like, yes, he's a CIA agent. No, just leave him alone. He'll be fine. Leave him his sunglasses. That's fine. It's not a big deal. Seconds later, he's got his handcuffs off and he's bolting for the door. It's like, no, these people you have to take care of. You can't,
Honestly.
if it was somebody just wandering in that wasn't part of unit, it's like, okay, you gotta search them, but you don't have to be as thorough. But you get know who. It's not like you don't know who these people are and what they do. They face down aliens, and you're like, nah, they're fine. We'll just trust that they're not carrying any technology that could easily let them escape. It's like there's got to be like, I want to kind of think of the anti-unit kit. It's like, these are things that you should carry on if you are a guard trying to guard a unit, unit personnel or defend against unit personnel. These are the things you should have on you at all times. Like, flour. You should have a big, a satchel of flour or sand and just chuck
Talc
that.
powder.
Yeah.
Talc powder. It's lighter weight and
Yeah,
and not only does it catch, block off the invisibility, but it also would help with any laser traps.
Yeah.
Because it's lighter weight, so it, dusts better.
But yeah, it's like, oh yeah, here's a bag. What is this weird? Why do I have a bag of talc? Trust me, you need it. If they go invisible, you throw the talc. They show up. Then you hit them. If you're evil, then you shoot them in the head.
And of course,
you double tap to be sure.
And of course, a classic EMP generator.
Yeah, an EMP generator, some talc. It's like, yeah, a very, very basic, a melee weapon of some sort. It's like, in case they do they borrowed some tech from the Sontarans, and the copper excitation doesn't allow for the bullet to fire. It's like, okay,
yep.
Stick. Oh, you did that? it's something signal. I forget what it's called, but yeah, the
Yeah.
Sontaran sort of anti-bullet.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Causes the bullets to expand and makes it so they can't fire.
yeah, but yeah, you have a standard melee weapon. It's like you're the first day on the job as the goon for an evil organization. It's like, all right, here's your kit. Okay, normal stuff. You have a knife. You have your gun. You have a towel. You have talc. You have a big stick. You have a 10-foot pole, an extendable 10-foot pole, so that if you are questioning whether you should touch something or not, poke it with the pole. Do not get close to it. Poke it with the pole. If it does something, you're 10 feet away. Yeah. A collapsible 10-foot pole, talc.
Which would also be useful as a melee weapon.
Yeah, you
Poke it.
shrink it up a little bit and you use it, you cut it down to half, bring it down to half stretch and use it as a staff.
Pole.
Yeah, use it as a staff. Put your knife on the end of it. It has a slot for your knife. You screw it in. You now have a sphere, so that you can attack them from range. And the great thing about a spear is it's basically, from what I understand, for people who do historical European martial arts, it's actually the easiest weapon to use. If you're going to train, if you had to grab 20 people off the street and teach them to fight with the medieval style, a spear would be the one you would use because it's dead simple to use.
Poke people with it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's
Basically.
poke people and rake other spears out of the way and that sort of thing. You basically created a spear. It also keeps your opponent at a distance. With the kind of tricks unit pulls, keeping them at a distance is actually quite a good idea.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're the Quarteran signal or something like that. Anyway, yeah, is the copper thing that was good. But yeah, yes, this 10-foot pole also changes into a spear. Collapses down into a normal spear size. You put your knife on it because you should always carry a knife. It's just one of those things. If you're in that sort of line of work where you can carry a knife, carry one. Even
if you're not.
Well, if you're in a line of work where you can, because some places you can't have a knife here,
Yeah.
but if you're in a line of work where you can, it's a good thing to have. It's a handy thing to have because you can just, oh, I need to cut that. Oh, I got a knife. Or oh,
Dive the fuck out of that shit.
yeah. So I mean, you already have your combat knife. You just screw it on the end of your 10-foot pole that you use. Going a little D&D on there because the 10-foot collapsible pole is another thing. But anyway, yeah, I mean, you got your spear, you got a knife, you got a pole to poke things with, you got a little baggie of talc, you got an EMP, you got a personal sized EMP. It's like, and then you have a gun. So yes, you're going if your the gun is the first choice because it's it's a bit like Indiana Jones. Yes, they're doing all this crazy mumbo jumbo. It's like, no, shoot them in the head. Well, shoot them center of mass is more. Well, you can at least tell that they don't have armor on their face. Probably. Because they might have armor on anyway, but it's like a shield that you can't see. Then you throw your MP and then you shoot them in the face.
Mhm.
But that might not even work because some of them are have skulls coated in plastic.
Yep.
You just stun them.
Set phasers to stun.
Of course, at that point, once you figured out that you're dealing with the plastic coated one, then you shoot them in the guts.
Yep.
Because that's not got bone on front of it.
Nope.
But anyway.
Aw. Talking about killing Josh.
But yeah, just the things that you would have to prepare for if you knew you were fighting unit. I mean, Cerberus isn't even close. I mean, it's like they had, okay, the orientation is, all right, here is your gun, and follow what that guy tells you to do. That's
No,
the
their
orientation.
orientation. Their orientation should be okay. Here's the thing: we're the bad guys, and the good guys. The good guys always win, so don't even try.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, they aren't technically the bad guys. They're mercenaries. They're just guns for hire. So if the good guys hire them, they're good guys. If the bad guys hire them, they're bad guys.
Yeah.
Fair
they're-
point.
Now, they Deadpool it. They're like, I go where the money goes.
Yeah. Well, they're neutrals. They're true neutrals. Well, they're the good, bad. I'm the
And
guy
the
with
ugly
the
in
gun.
some cases.
I can, yeah, I point my gun at whoever is not paying me. It's like, oh, you paid me? Oh, you're on the good side? Okay, I guess I'm good today. Oh, you're on the bad side? Okay. I'm doing that. Oh, I'm supposed to create chaos? Okay. Oh, I'm supposed to create order? Okay. What's paying me? Okay.
Exactly. So, I mean, they're not good. They're not bad. They're just,
Opportunistic.
exactly.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so yes. Which
Although honestly, even Osgood did that with the doctor. She had this whole plan laid out for how to kill the doctor, like forever kill. Like, I just shoot you in the head 12 times. I wouldn't even give you a chance to talk because we know as soon as you get talking, you win.
yeah, it's,
So it's always
Yeah.
good to have a plan.
yeah. It's one of those things where for most of the unit in Doctor Who, if you want to defeat somebody in Doctor Who, if it's an enemy, technobabble and subvert, little subterfuge and such, or talking them to death, which I imagine that's happened a few times with the Doctor. He's talked them to death.
Yeah, probably. And if it's a good guy, don't let them speak.
Yes. Well, and use just dead stupid technology. Don't use anything fancy. Use dead stupid technology and don't let them speak.
Mm-hmm.
That way there's nothing to manipulate. And it's like, yes, all of my guards are they have earphones that are specifically tuned to be able to let them hear anything but the speech of the Doctor or his companions. They can't
Yeah,
hear
but
that.
then
It's muted out, but they can hear everything else, and they're
Yeah,
all
but one of
equipped
the
with.
guard for some reason knows sign language, and the doctor's like,
And they're all equipped with spears and bows and arrows. It's like, try messing with that, Doctor. It's wood. You can't sonic wood.
Sorry, I just
No,
thought of a joke
and,
about the
that could have been taken differently.
Huh?
You can't sonic wood. You might
Yeah,
in
I
a different
thought
context.
so too.
You
I
can-
thought the joke was too.
You can sonic screws into wood, but you can't sonic the wood itself.
Okay, gotta clear my dirty mind. Gotta clear it.
I thought the same joke. Like, joke on you. It doesn't work on wood.
Oh.
You're not helping. I'm trying to clear my dirty mind.
My mind's as
Especially with
dirty
the
as
female doctor coming up.
Oh, thanks a lot.
You do
Sorry,
know
it doesn't work on wood.
Doctor. Oh my.
Oh no.
Oh.
But does it work on plastic?
There's no bones in that. Lots of other animals have bones. We're one of the few ones that don't have bones in that.
Yeah. Personally, speaking of like the guy, with the plastic and stuff, I kind of think the plastic didn't just cover his bones, but just like everywhere, where there's skin. Like there's a whole layer of plastic underneath the skin.
No.
Yeah, they were pretty specific that it coated the bones.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's still liable to blood loss, but you're not going to break his bones. He's essentially, you just... as long as you don't do enough soft tissue damage, you're not going to hurt him. You're just going to have to do a lot of sort of soft tissue damage. You can't break his bones. It's pointless to try. You might be able to give him a concussion, but because just sheer, you hit him in the head enough with a sledgehammer, you induce enough force into the brain. Yeah, unless the plastic is also sort of shock absorbing in some way. Yeah, unless it's shock absorbent in some way, sheer just blunt force trauma to the head. While it won't break the skull, it might give him a concussion because the brain bouncing around in the skull. But yeah, you're not gonna break his bones, not without some severe effort.
Plastic versus metal. And surprisingly,
But before we we get too off into the deep end, as we already have, anything else we want to talk about with Ice Station Alpha?
Nope.
Oh, yeah, and then there was Sir Peter at the end. It's like, oh, you can't make you like that whiskey. It's like, or whatever it was. Like, wait a second. What?
Oh, brandy.
Yeah, brandy. It was like, you didn't. Yep. Now you. So that's one of the things with you gotta be careful ethically with that sort of having the memory wipe sort of ability with you. It's like, yeah, you can. If you ever make your bosses mad, you can just wipe their minds of it, and they'll go, well, I can't prove you did something stupid, but you must have done something stupid because you wiped my memory.
Wait, how do you have knowledge that I wiped your memory?
Because I don't remember stuff from yesterday.
Well, if you remember, Jackie remembers that she had her memory wiped. That's how she, that whole end scene with I am the eyewitness.
Yeah, and it's kind of I think it's basically I am. It's more memory. It's evidence by lack of things. It's like evidence by absence. It's like, I don't remember what happened yesterday completely. Like, it's completely gone.
You were just drunk. Face it.
But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's what I
especially if
needed
you
to
know
do.
they have some means of erasing memories. It's like, you did it, didn't you? What happened?
No,
Why did you erase my memory?
Yeah, no, that's all they need to do. Get everybody really drunk that they just forget everything and the aliens will leave them alone.
Or or use or just what is the, I forget what movie it's or story it's from, but just like douse them in rum, and it's like, nobody will believe you.
Oh, yeah. Don't know where it's from, but I know what you're talking about.
Um, but yeah, nobody will believe you. Drunkie.
You
Yeah.
lush. But I'm sober. I didn't touch a drop. Yeah, prove it.
Yeah, I don't remember what that.
I don't know. But I know what you're talking
Yeah, it's that weird thing where you know it exists and that's a movie, and that's what they.
I know it's from something because I recognize it.
Yeah.
I have no idea where the fuck it's from.
Yeah, I don't know what it's from, but it's a thing that happened.
Yeah, I get that feeling all the time.
It's a thing, huh?
It's a thing that exists. We don't know where it came from. We don't know where it's gone, but we know. We know that's a thing somebody used to say you don't believe him because he's covered in rum.
Was it rum?
Or
I know it was something with alcohol. I thought it was
That's pretty
beer.
much Jack Sparrow's daily life.
So you're why the rum's gone. It wasn't me, I swear.
you're covered in rum. Fair cop. But anyway, yeah, in like 30 minutes, it'll pop into my head and like, oh, that was where it was from, and it's like, oh, okay.
Or probably
Yeah.
after the stream while you're laying in bed, like, oh, wait, that's what it was.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much my life.
Story of my life.
I mean, I don't remember something until it's too late.
Yep. It's always too late.
Hmm.
Wakey, wakey.
I know. And see, let's see. The next part of the radio play is just the afterwards, I guess. I think.
The behind the scenes, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, and then we've got was it
Silence.
Silenced? Silence.
Oh, that
Yeah.
reminds me.
Bad guy that is.
I know.
House of Silence. Square one.
Wait,
Silent majority.
wait, I can't.
In
wait, I
memory
can't remember.
alone.
I forget who the bad guy is.
And it'll come to me, I think.
But yes, Josh could snog, and then pretending it never happened because she's just like,
Oh,
I guess that's
Okay.
it for Ice Station Alpha.